Hey guys, how's it going? PjX here, and welcome to a PvP tutorial for Mineplex Dominate and champions in general. So the first thing you need to know about Mineplex Dominate, you may think I'm just going to jump right into PvP and strafes, but no. The first thing you need to know about Mineplex Dominate is the terrain and every block of every map. I basically know, like, literally every block of every map. Like, for instance, I know that when you slam from here, you're going to land, like, one block short of here. But if you slam from here, you can get all the way up. You have to know your surroundings, and you have to know what you're doing. I'm spectating just for, like, a dramatic effect. Alright, so, the first rule of Mineplex Dominate. Mineplex registers lag in a weird way. If you have a ping of, like, say, you see bow shot arrows here who has 257 milliseconds, if you can click really fast and strafe really hard while having lag ping, then you can be a god at Mineplex. Now, first lesson, terrain. So, say someone is on top of this cliff, and I'm down here at the bottom. So, the hitbox of a person, I'll show you what a hitbox is. If you press F3 and A, you're going to see a, well, what the crap? No, it's F3 and B. I'm sorry, I thought it was F3 and A. You're going to see a hitbox. You see how this is a little bit below the feet, even though, like, the feet are at the bottom, this is a little bit below the feet. So, it's easier to hit someone in the foot than it is in the head. And that rumor about crits being hitting someone in the head, that isn't true. As you see, this is not inside the hitbox, so if I hit him here, that's not going to register. So what you want to do is get below them and aim for the feet when you're on, like, a terrain difference. If you're on a terrain difference, you're in the bottom, they're up there, you want to aim for their feet and try to click fast as possible and strafe back and forth like this until they fall off, and then just continue. So, that's the first lesson to Mineplex Dominate. No terrain. Be able to use terrain to your advantage. There's a little trick with ladders, too. Now, if you go up a ladder and you're fighting someone from a ladder, I do this one all the time. You take no knockback on ladders. Even if there's, like, no block behind me, you'll take no knockback on it, especially if you hold shift on the ladder. And you can just keep hitting them, combo the crap out of them from up top. So that's the second strategy you can use. But remember, this is going to get way more in depth. This is just the start to be able to use terrain and the map to your advantage. Now, second lesson, even though I personally do not run, like, I don't run from people when I get to 1 heart, the smartest way to do a fight would be to, if you run into a crowd and you get them chasing you, the smartest way to do it would be to get low to, like, half a heart, run away, go back to your teammates, and turn, let the teammate fight while you regen and fight yourself. So, Dominate is a lot about teamwork. It's not just about 1v1ing and all that crap. Okay, so teamwork. You definitely want to work together with your team. What happens if you have a bunch of noobs on your team? Well, you're screwed. So you want to choose your teammates carefully. You want to get some team members highly skilled that can follow you around. If you're aiming to win Dominate, you should get a little team together and make sure your teamwork and communication is good with them. That's how competitive Dom works. Competitive Dom is not PvP skill, 1v1ing. It's teamwork. It's teamwork and communication. That's how you win Dominate. Yes. Alright, so you've discovered terrain in this video and how it can give you advantages. There's also another thing to note. A lot of people think that there are crits in Dominate, you know, like critical hits when you jump and you crit someone and it gives you particles. Well, that doesn't exist in Dominate. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but it is 100% true. There is no such thing as a crit on Mineplex Dominate. Even though it shows, it doesn't do anything. Knockback, instead of being based on regular hits and crits, is actually based on damage. And if you do more damage to an enemy, you're going to knock them back further. You can use that to your advantage as well. Alright, so now we're going to talk about slowness and debuffs. So you give me a second. Alright, so slowness and debuffs. This knight class, aka the default knight, has 2 slowness debuffs on it. Now, depending on how you do this, this can play to your advantage or it could be your downfall. Giving someone less knockback by giving them slowness can be a bad thing or a good thing, depending on how you approach the situation. So, there's 2 ways you can use knockback. You're either going to use it to, 1, pretend I'm low. So the knockback has hit him. I'm going to run away. He can't follow me like that. You see, my teammate's going to take care of him now. And that's it. You can just use knockback to get away from your opponent, like I just did, which I find very cowardly and wouldn't do, but you can do that. Now, another thing you can do with knockback is use it to your advantage while strafing. I'll show you. So, to strafe someone that has little knockback, what you need to do is basically circle them, because it gives them less FOV when they have knockback. I'll show you. Alright, this guy, he doesn't have any no knockback. Let me just wait till I get a nice clip, and then I'll tell you. Alright. Let's find out how to use no knockback. Now, you see this guy's little knockback? An S-tap strafe can be really good for little knockback. See, he couldn't hit me there because I tapped S. When I say tap S, I don't mean hold the crap out of it. When I say tap S, I mean you always hold down the sprint key while you're fighting. That's another rule. That is a big rule. Never let off that sprint key, so your sprint key cannot be control. My sprint key is left alt, so I can hold down... I'll show you, actually. My sprint key is left alt, you see? And I can hold down alt with my middle thumb joint while I use the tip of my thumb to tap space, so I can hold it down and still tap space. You see what I'm doing here? I always have my sprint button held down. So let's go ahead and get that face cam back up there. Alright, so while holding down the sprint button through PvP, you can never let off. That is crucial. That's a rule. Unless you get a sprint mod, then that's kind of scrubby. But what you need to do while you're strafing someone, if you're going to S-tap, like I just showed you with slowness. So let's go ahead and give him some slowness. So we're going to go after him, and we're going to tap S while we go towards him. Like, you have to do it within a split second. Like, say there's someone in front of me right here. So I'm going towards them. Now I'm going to tap S and go back at him. See how I just barely tapped it, and it just barely registered me not sprinting? That is how you do an S-tap. So, yeah, that's one way to use slowness to your advantage. There's one other way to use a strafe to use slowness to your advantage. And you guys can give me your opinions in the comments below. So watch this. This is called a circle strafe. Watch. See this? Oh, crap. Never mind. That was a bad one. That was a bad one. He didn't get the slowness debuff. I killed the guy that got the slowness debuff. You see, the teammates are making it hard for me to show you guys. I think you get the idea, though, because more of a verbal example may be better for you. Okay, here we go. Alright, watch this. So now I'm going to hit him with the slowness. Now we're going to go around him, circle him. Gosh dang it. Okay, this isn't working. It's not. I need like a test dummy in the next video. But I'll explain it to you. So, circle strafe. Most of you guys know what that is. If not, I'll actually show you right now. So what you do is instead of going directly forward and strafing, you get right next to them and you follow them in a circle around. You can W tap while you do it. This is a circle strafe. You see how I'm barely going forward at all? Well, right here. You see I would be beside of them, and this is a circle strafe. You go around them. I'm W tapping with it now. You don't have to W tap. You can do it like this. You can do it like this. That's a circle strafe. You just have to make a wide circle around them, but stay in range with them. And once you get slowness on them, that works really well. It'll work really well against Void, too. But as you can hear, I'm not jitter clicking today. See, look, circles. Circles, mate. I don't think I can get a good example here because there's too many people doing things around me, so you guys get the idea with that. Let's move on to the next thing. Alright guys, I'm going to move on to the last thing for today. So you've learned how to use terrain to your advantage. You've learned the maps. You've learned the blocks on the maps where you can and can't do things. You've learned how to use slowness debuff to your advantage. I know I didn't make a very good example of the slowness debuff, but it's impossible in a lobby of people. So, now, slowness debuff you've learned. Rigid, rugged terrain, you have learned. You guys know about hitboxes? You guys know about slowness strafes. Now, the last thing I'm going to teach you is how to click properly. So I'm going to show you how most people try to hold their mouse. Alright, this is my mouse. This is a Logitech G502. You see how I'm holding this mouse? This is how you're not supposed to hold it. This is how everyone holds their mouse. I mean, I can still jitter this way, but it's not consistent. Listen. Alright, you see that? That isn't consistent at all. The real way you're supposed to hold your mouse, watch me shift my finger, look. Scoot these up, put this back here. Alright, you see this? I'm claw gripping the mouse. This allows you to always be able to click faster. You can't lay your hands flat like this. It isn't how it works. Most people try to do it that way. You have to claw grip like this. And grounding your wrist on the table is another good idea, because if you have it up in the air, that's not really going to be good for your wrist. That's going to hurt you in time. So, claw grip the mouse work on clicking. So you see how I'm taking my finger off the mouse while I click? That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to leave it on there. You see how I'm barely moving my finger at all? I hope it's focused. But yeah, I'm barely moving my finger. It's not even coming off the mouse. Listen to this. And you can see that I'm basically not moving my finger at all. You can't even see it. Of course, you need to like tap the right click in between as well to do your like riposte and slowness debuffs. Alright, so you guys have a general idea of a lot of things now. You know how I strafe sometimes? I haven't showed you my strafe. That was just a slowness debuff tutorial because a lot of people don't know how to deal with slowness and use debuffs to your advantage. But yeah, that's how you do it. Alright, and that's how you click. A lot of people ask for a jitter clicking tutorial. That is how you do it. I can't tell you anything else. I know that you have to vibrate your wrist. You see how my wrist is vibrating right now? My hand is vibrating. Look. This is what you have to do to jitter click. You have to make your wrist vibrate. It is with a muscle between here and here that you have to tense up to vibrate, and then eventually it'll do this. Listen. See? Alright, you guys have learned a lot of things today. Strafes, slowness, debuffs. We've got clicking down, terrain, basic map knowledge. Alright guys, tell me in the comments below how I did teaching you how to play Mineplex Dominate. The next video will be coming up shortly, depending on how this one does. Leave a like and favorite if you enjoyed. And tell me what you guys would like to learn next time, because I would definitely be willing to show you some more things. So you guys tell me what tricks you want to learn, like some strafes or something, and I can definitely do that. Alright, let's get up here and kill this guy. I'm going to kill this guy. Okay, screw that. Screw it! Like and favorite if you enjoyed, and subscribe to show your support to my channel. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I know it wasn't the best because I didn't have a test dummy for examples, but I verbally explained everything to you, so you should get it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!